Mariah Carey, the mysterious and global star, walked into the courtroom not to perform, but to speak honestly. The courtroom was completely still. Her arrival wasn't just surprising, it shook everyone. This trial was already full of explosive videos and fake stories. Under oath, she revealed a chilling secret Diddy had told her in private. "If they know what I really do, it's all over," he had said. Her voice, once heard in big concerts and award shows, now echoed through the courtroom. She had stayed quiet for years because of bribes and the memory of one night in 2003. But finally, she found the strength to speak up about that night. The situation between her and Diddy wasn't about love, jealousy, or competition. It was about truth. When she took the stand, she made it clear. She wasn't afraid anymore. This moment showed how Mariah helped expose Diddy's hidden world, shocking everyone in court. Then came the next name on the witness list, Mariah Carey. The courtroom froze for 5 seconds. Even the person typing the trial notes stopped. Wearing a bold black suit with gold details and dark sunglasses hiding her face, she appeared as if summoned by the crowd's breath. Her lawyers stood beside her like guards as she walked slowly to the witness stand. Diddy looked up and felt a nervous twitch in his face. He hadn't expected this at all. The judge gave a small nod, his usual way of recognizing a witness. Mariah Carey wasn't just any witness. She was a superstar with everything to lose and nothing to gain. She had come to speak in the trial against Diddy. Outside the court, news crews rushed to capture the moment. With calm confidence, she took off her sunglasses as she stepped onto the stand. A soft voice in the crowd whispered, "She's really doing this." The prosecutor stood, cleared her throat, and asked the first question. "Ms. Carey, can you please tell us about your connection to Mr. Sherlock Holmes?" Mariah didn't flinch. "We were just acquaintances," she explained to people in the same music world, "not friends or co-workers. Until 2003, they got along fine. Now all eyes were on Diddy, who sat frozen at the defense table, even as his lawyer leaned in close. Diddy didn't move. He sat stiffly, waiting. "I'm not here to talk about gossip," Mariah said. "I never thought I'd have to say this under oath, but I'm doing it because of what I heard in private." The jury leaned in. The crowd went quiet. Her tone had changed. This pop icon wasn't going to hold anything back. "I've waited over 20 years to say this," she said, staring directly at Diddy. They had seen each other often, music shoots, award nights, business dinners, and more. They didn't work together, but shared the same agents, rivals, and fans. Mariah said she saw him at many events in the late 90s and early 2000s. He was always present both physically and politically. She remembered a moment at the 2001 MTV Awards when Diddy approached her at an after-party. He praised her new album. He showed up in every room and conversation, sometimes without her knowing or agreeing. He once said something odd. "You're too clean for this place." He said he respected her career. She brushed it off and laughed, but those words stayed in her mind. She spoke about how fierce the music scene was back then. It wasn't just about talent, it was about choosing sides. Being seen with Diddy offered safety, but not for everyone. She also heard too many rumors to ignore about private parties and secret agreements. She said people had to sign papers just to enter certain rooms. It was about surviving, she told the court. If you said no, you wouldn't be invited again. Soon, you'd stop getting invited to award shows too. Behind the scenes, Diddy's name kept popping up, not as a helper, but as someone building a new kind of power. Mariah never spoke out. She wasn't forced to, but on the stand. She admitted she had felt uncomfortable by 2003, and it all built up to one night. Her voice grew louder. She described July 19th, 2003, a night. She was invited to a music retreat in the Hamptons. She was exhausted from a music video shoot, but her manager thought it would look good for her to attend. She was told the event host, referring to Diddy, was someone rebuilding his image. The mansion was a giant house by the sea, with tinted windows and 2 security gates. There were stars, media bigwigs, and some unfamiliar faces, not performers, but watchers. When asked if she planned to leave early, Mariah said, yes, by 10 p.m. Then Diddy came over to her, He was calm and peaceful. "Want to check out the VIP lounge?" he asked. She said she was tired, but he insisted. He said he needed to clear up a misunderstanding, so she followed him into a side room. 2 guards stood outside. The room was dim and had soft velvet chairs. He drank and stared at her for a long time. Then he said, "If they find out what I really do, it's over." The courtroom went dead silent. He wasn't joking. Mariah said he was serious. She wanted to know what he meant. He said it like a man seeing his own fall. He changed the subject. When she tried to leave, he stood in her way. He smiled strangely and said he'd take care of you. He told her to stay quiet. She left the room without a word. "I've lived with that night in my mind for 20 years, she said in court. "I won't stay quiet anymore." Mariah said she left the house before morning. The place was silent. She walked past the guards without a sound. Her assistant drove her back to Manhattan. "What I saw was unlike anything I knew," she told the court. It felt like a warning, like she wasn't supposed to be there. But the warning didn't end. Around noon, a hotel worker came to her room with a black box. He said it came from a private courier with her name on it. There were no sender details, just her silver initials. Inside was $100,000 in clean bills wrapped in gold bands. No note. But under the money was a small envelope with a handwritten message. "Regarding your free time, enjoy the night alone. Thanks, S." Mariah said her stomach dropped. It wasn't just the money, it was the message. Her manager said to return it immediately, fearing what it meant. But the number on the note didn't work. Later, her team confirmed the delivery came from a black SUV rented by people connected to Bad Boy Entertainment. "I didn't want the money," Mariah said in court. She wanted answers or at least space from what had happened. But instead, she felt scared. She locked the box in her hotel's safe. Weeks later, she mailed it back to the mansion, no return address, writing, "You know where this belongs." She told no one, not even close friends, something like that. You try to forget. But when she saw Diddy in court months ago, facing serious charges, the memory returned. "I had to speak," she said. She couldn't stay silent anymore. Then the prosecutor asked another question. "Ms. Carey, did you hear from any other women at that 2003 party who seemed scared or who disappeared?" Mariah paused. She looked upset for the first time during her entire testimony. "There was one woman," she said. "She wasn't famous. She didn't work in music. Mariah thought she worked in PR or marketing. She only remembered her name was Lana. After a short chat, Lana told her she didn't feel right at the party. She said she had accidentally walked into a private room. Inside, she saw a man standing over someone who was signing papers. She mentioned a camera and lights too. Lana left that room quickly. Later that night, Mariah realized Lana was gone. No one talked about her again. Then, 2 months later, Mariah got a strange voicemail at her studio. A woman whispered, "I shouldn't have. Seen that? No one should talk to me. Be careful," Mariah warned her team. But that same day, a studio intern accidentally deleted the message. Still, Mariah couldn't forget the voice. She couldn't be sure if it was Lana or not. In early 2004, she asked her boss to find out who Lana was. "She's gone," he told her. It was like Lana had vanished. No job updates, no social media. He warned Mariah not to dig deeper. She knew something was wrong. But she also understood how the industry worked. People who got involved in the dark side didn't last. Court asked her for proof that Diddy had anything to do with Lana's disappearance. Mariah said she didn't have any hard evidence. Just fear, she said. Fear kept her silent for 20 years. Still, the prosecutors used her words to show a pattern: missing assistants, quiet dancers, and now a pop star who may have been offered money to stay quiet. Even though Mariah had faced breakdowns and struggles after 2001, her music career was strong in 2004. But she said things changed behind the scenes. "For certain events, no one called me anymore," she said. Not all events, just the private ones linked to Diddy's circle. At first, she thought maybe it was a coincidence. Maybe she had just fallen off the guest list. But then the calls started. Soft, friendly, but strange. "Mariah, you're amazing," said one top music executive. "But I hope you don't bring up that night again." The word unhealthy stuck with her for a long time. Later, another person, someone they both knew, sent her a message. "Bad things happen to women who talk too much," it said. Mariah was shocked. She was angry. And she was smart enough to know a real warning when she heard one. Then she spoke about seeing Diddy at an award show in 2006. He was with younger artists, smiling and happy, but when their eyes met, he froze. Then he gave her a cold, careful smile. That was all she needed to understand. That smile wasn't charm, she said. It was control. He kept quiet, it seemed to say. After that, she never spoke to him again. At the time, she thought staying silent was the right thing. But watching the trial in 2025 and seeing more women speak out changed her mind. "I'm not scared of him anymore," she said firmly. "When the truth comes out, his power disappears. So I don't fear it now." Then the prosecutor leaned forward and asked a simple question. "Miss Carey, did you ever hear Mr. Combs threaten someone else?" Mariah slowly nodded and exhaled. "I think I did." She shared a story she had never told before. In 2005, she was at a studio in Manhattan for a music project. She got there early, hoping to meet her producer. By chance, she heard Diddy speaking. In the next room, he was talking to a young R&B singer, a rising star known for her gospel roots and strong voice. Mariah didn't name the artist, but confirmed the initials and background matched a singer who once topped the charts. She overheard, "Diddy threw a small wall between the rooms. You remember who gave you those songs?" he said. "Remember who owns your music. Act like you're free, but there are rules." Then he said, "If you think you can walk away, remember what happened to the last girl who tried." Mariah stepped back in shock. He said it quietly, but with anger. She didn't say anything publicly then. She was scared, afraid of being sued or harmed. But months later, that singer canceled her tour, skipped an award show, and vanished from the spotlight. She just disappeared, Mariah told the court. No one asked questions, everyone already knew. Her words were heavy. Diddy sat still, mouth shut, face blank. His lawyers whispered to him, but the damage was done. Mariah said, "I should have spoken up back then. It was scary. Maybe I was being paranoid." But this part of her story wasn't just for her. It was for every artist who never got the chance to tell theirs. "Now that I've seen the truth, I know it was real," she said. This trial wasn't just a legal matter, it was a moment of truth. And the people in the courtroom felt that. The crowd stayed quiet as Mariah continued her ninth part of testimony. Even the court reporters slowed down. The jury looked deeply affected. Even the judge shifted uncomfortably. Though Mariah stayed strong, her words revealed deeper secrets. "There were files I was told not to open," she said. "Contracts, bills, deals with weird names that made no sense." In 2008, she asked a former assistant to look into a big event Diddy had sponsored. It was a massive production, yet it was never aired on TV. The assistant found strange businesses shell companies used to hide payment info. When her team asked a top executive about it, he said, "We don't look into that," and warned, "You shouldn't either." The courtroom listened as she described how pressure to stay silent kept growing. Her publicist got threatened. Unreleased videos were hinted at. Rumors of scandals and tabloid stories started floating around. Then came the 2010 award show. They asked Mariah to give Diddy a Lifetime Achievement Award. She refused. Right after, she lost 3 endorsement deals in 1 week. No one called. No explanations. "They just disappeared," she said. The defense objected, saying her words were just guesses. But the judge allowed it to fit a clear pattern. "What happened next?" the prosecutor asked. Mariah looked ahead. "When no one asked me to testify, I waited," she said. "Now that the time is here, I won't hold anything back." Mariah Carey didn't whisper her final words in court. There was no drama, just sharp, clear truth. "I'm not here to relive pain," she said. "But this is serious, and I believe the truth must be heard. The world now knows who Diddy really is. I'm here because I believe the truth has power." When she finished, the courtroom fell silent. Even the court reporter paused. Mariah stepped down from the stand. Her security moved quickly to guide her out. She didn't answer any questions. From the media, she didn't wave. She didn't smile. She looked like someone who had quietly thrown a stone into still water, calm and strong. Outside, chaos broke out. Worldwide hashtags like hashtag Mariah Testifies and hashtag Diddy Trial, truth started trending. Some news shows praised her bravery. Others wondered what else she might know. Diddy sat back at his table, stunned. His lawyers looked shaken. The judge called for a break. That evening, Mariah's testimony aired on all major networks. It changed the conversation around fame, power, and silence. The fall of an empire had begun. Mariah's voice had started it. Her words hit like a high note that broke the silence. That's what happened after Mariah Carey testified. The entertainment world felt a major shift, not just inside the court, but everywhere. Fans, managers, producers, everyone began to question their silence. No one wanted to be caught on the wrong side anymore. Her famous quote, "If they find out what I really do, it's over," was everywhere. It appeared in news headlines, TikToks, late-night shows, and documentaries. What once seemed like gossip now became key evidence. Then behind the scenes, more rumors started. 2 former executives from Diddy's label were said to be ready to testify secretly. An ex-assistant from Bad Boy Entertainment hinted on Instagram, "Some silenced me, some paid me." A source told Rolling Stone, "If she was brave enough to speak, maybe we all should be. I stayed quiet, but that's over now. Justice will win." Even celebrities who had stayed quiet before began changing their minds. Talk shows praised Mariah's courage. Famous people posted her quotes with one word: respect. Old pictures with Diddy quietly disappeared from social media. It was clear people wanted distance from him, but the biggest impact was still inside the courtroom. The jury looked nervous. The prosecution, encouraged by Mariah's words, called more witnesses. Former tour managers and security guards were added to the list. The defense tried to say Mariah was just telling a dramatic story, but it didn't work. People believed her. She had no reason to lie. She didn't need money. She wasn't promoting a song or an album. She came to court because she wanted the truth to come out. Instead of running, she walked straight into the storm. That made her powerful, not in a scandalous way, but in a real, honest way. She was a threat to systems built on fear and silence, the juror reportedly said. When she looked at him, she was finally free, and he knew it. This wasn't just a statement, it was a transformation. Mariah Carey pulled back the curtain, and once it was open, no one could close it again. The dominoes had already started to fall.